What's up, everybody? Today is a very, very special day. We're here on board VanDutch 32 R01. Now, this isn't just any VanDutch. This is a completely custom project with options that you cannot even get from the factory. So today I'm going to show you all of those options, all of the standard specifications, and you're going to leave, I think, really excited about this boat. Let's get to work. It's a 32-foot boat, this VanDutch, but there's a lot to talk about. So naturally, let's start on the swim platform. Large swim platform for a 32-foot boat. I see that a lot trending, especially in day boats now. Swim platforms are getting larger and larger. It's important to note that between the 32 swim platform and the original VanDutch 30, you're talking about almost a double wide space. So much easy to board, much better for swimming. And as a matter of fact, it's worth noting that on the back here, you've got your natural swim ladder that comes out, pops in the water, hides away, hopefully easily. Yep, easily, no problem there. So we got a swim platform, swim ladder. On the back, you've got your 50 amp shore power inlet. 50 amp is plenty for this boat, but I love the fact that we've got extra power coming in. All the cleats pop up and depress into the boat so that when you want to get that clean cruising image, obviously we bring our fenders in, everybody knows that, but you can also pop the cleats down to get a super smooth image while you're cruising the waters. On the back here, you've got your inlet for your flagpole. We don't have it in now, but it's there just in case you need it. And then we can move immediately to the boat's entryway. I want to make mention of my favorite part of this boat. Now, there's a lot of custom features on the boat, but my favorite part is this 12-point LED deck lighting system. Now, the way this was done, they actually took out the original system, filled in all the fiberglass holes, and then really meticulously measured throughout the boat to find the best place for 12 lights. And this boat, it is super premium at night. It just illuminates, and all the controls are directly from the helm. And not to mention, these lights also dim. So if they're too bright at night, I think there's 3 settings where you can actually put them further and further down so that you get that smooth environment. It's not too bright. But that feature alone makes this boat incredibly, incredibly unique. So now as we move into the cockpit, VanDutch, well known for its quick access fender storage. In this boat, we actually have 2 types of fenders. The normal cylindrical fenders I won't bother you with, but I want to call attention to this really, really neat square-backed fender. This is made by PilePad. And the cool thing about this, there's 2 really cool things. Number one, when you put it over the side and you lock it into place, it's got a flat back. So if you were to raft up with a friend or even at a restaurant or your house, cylindrical fenders have a tendency when put under pressure to sometimes slide up out of place, and it can cause your boats to make connection, your boat with the dock, your boat with another boat. These flat back fenders don't do that at all, which I absolutely love. And on top of that, the company cuts an angled bottom and top, as well as the sides. So if this were to sit down in a fender box like it does here, and I'm not going to put it on the floor now, but if it were to sit on the floor of the fender box sometimes gets dirty, wet, and it's nice that those angles keep the material off the bottom. So it's going to keep like mold and growth off of the material. It's just a better way to keep your products stored to let their lifespan, improve. So that's that. Love the fender box here. Let's move into the cockpit. Actually, I want to make mention here of your diesel, your fresh water, and the waste exit is all on the port side. And these are all really easy to open. You don't need a key. You can do it right from the boat itself. So whenever you get to the fuel dock, you're never looking all over for the key, scrambling, asking the fuel attendant whether he has the key or not. Everything can be done right from the boat without a tool. This is a wireless charging pad, which, any iPhone, I don't have an Android, but the iPhones work. Pop your phone right here, immediately starts wireless charging. And there's actually one that I'll show you in a little bit on the aft starboard corner as well. So we've got the charging pad here. As we move forward, this is one of the features that was added. This is an additional music remote control. Now, of course, it's better to have more than less, but the fact that it's in this position, I love, because all of your guests are going to be here sitting and enjoying themselves, hopefully. Now, the other controller is at the helm, and the 32 has a lot of space for a 32-foot boat, but it can still be tight if you have 8 or 10 people. So to have guests going up to the helm to mess with the music and kind of get in the captain's way, it's a much better strategy to add a second remote. And this is fully Bluetooth compatible. It controls all of the boat's features musically, just like the helm does. So by adding it here, all of your guests can get complete control without bothering the captain, which is ultimately, that's a safe way to do it. So that's why I love that feature as well. Let's stay on music and talk generally about this sound system. So this is a 6.1 surround sound system. We've got 4 speakers on deck, 2 in the cabin, as well as a 10-inch sub. Now the 10-inch sub and this speaker right here, really, really cool element. These have custom fiberglass housing. So usually when you get this speaker from the factory, it's going to be screwed right onto the fiberglass, right onto the paint, and you're going to get a little lip like this. That's fine. But I think when you get to an ultra premium level of finishing, you're going to have this inset. You're going to have this in the fiberglass so that it's got a flush front. And what they did with these is they cut and built these custom fiberglass housings for these 2 speakers, made it completely flush in the front. You've got speakers that are 2-tone painted. So it's like a light and a dark gray, and that's throughout the boat. So this sound system, not only is it great, it's got twin amp, 6 speakers with a sub. This system pumps, but also it's got that ultra luxury feel with amazing finishing and amazing color tone. What else? You've got a lot of cup holders on the boat. I believe there's 8 on the top deck here, which should be fine. There may actually be one at the helm we'll check out later. But you've got 8 cup holders, plenty of space to put your drinks. And then let's pop to the back and I'll show you this wireless charger. So this is called a Cove charger. And the benefit of this on top of that pad that we were checking out before, this is also a storage. So for people that are sitting here chilling right before they want to head into the water, jump in, they can pop their phone, their wallet, their keys, whatever in here. In addition, it does wirelessly charge your phone, but incredible little placement for a storage for somebody that doesn't want to head into the cabin and drop their phone. They can put everything right here before they hop in the water. Now, before we move into the helm area, I do want to mention this upholstery kit. So the upholstery kit on this boat it's called Puzzled Honeycomb. Now, this is something you'll never get from VanDutch. VanDutch does very clean lines, very simple stitch patterns. This is a custom job that was done special for this boat. So there's this honeycomb pattern. It's to die for, in my opinion. It makes this boat truly one of one. But then also you've got this honeycomb stitch, which is done with a white, so you get a really nice contrast with the boat's hull paint. And then there's this bull-nosed edge, and you got that bull-nosed edge throughout the entire boat. So really clean, really classy. And I know they put this headrest here is also a custom piece, just another accent so that you don't have that hard 90-degree edge at the back. Really, really nice job there. With some focus still on this set, this L-shaped backrest was added custom as a part of this upholstery kit. Now, it seems simple, but what I want to tell you is from the factory, the VanDutch 32 comes with a single backrest that is about this wide. And that backrest is on hinges. And you'll see this a lot with the Pardo 38, and I believe the Pardo 43 uses this system as well. And as you may know, Pardo builds VanDutch as well. So they use a lot of the same systems. Now, this backrest is going to hinge backwards and forwards when you get it standard from the factory. And that's done so that you can expand the space of this sun pad. If you wanted to move the backrest forward, you could get a little bit more space there. If you had guests that were sitting on this forward seat and you wanted to move the backrest back to give them a little more depth on the seat, you could do that. The thing is, with the 32, I think these spaces are a great size. I'm a 6'1" dude. This aft sun pad, I think, is just as much space as anybody would need. And then when you move to the forward side, this seat is really deep. So I don't think you need that hinged backrest. So the fact that they put this L shape, it makes the seating a little bit more comfortable. And most importantly, when you have that hinged backrest, there's no cushion right here. So for all of my people that see an L-shaped backrest like I do and beeline to the corner, because that's clearly the most comfortable place to sit, you would have no cushion here. So, you know, right now I've got a nice padding, nice cushion. It's comfortable. If that wasn't there, I don't know if I'd be very happy. So something to think about, fully custom cushion, and I'll show you how it was built, because why not? This whole cushion, I'll move this out of the way. The whole cushion was custom. These female pieces go into these stainless steel male brackets, and these stainless steel male brackets were made custom. So this whole thing was done with the intent of making this backrest and this corner piece more fixed. So something to think about. Let me see if this goes into place as easy as I hope it does. It does. Fantastic. Moving on. So VanDutch as a boat, they've got a lot of storage space. Under me is a pretty large storage space, which houses your inverter, your battery charger. You've got 2 AGM Group 31 batteries on this side, and on the port side in the storage, you've got 3 Group AGM batteries, Group 31 AGM batteries, sorry. And this boat, we're at anchor now, engine's not running. This boat's got 4+, I'll say 4 to be safe, 4 hours of battery life. So you could be running the refrigeration, the fresh water pumps, the Garmin, sound system, everything with about 4 hours of battery life, which is plenty. And if you run out, you can run the engines, get that alternator firing, get those batteries charging back up. But a really nice power system for this boat. So let's get back to the storage. Got a little sidetracked there. You got big storage here underneath me. You got another big storage on the port side there. So anything regarding water toys, safety equipment, life jackets, whatever you may need, you got plenty of space in these 2 hatches. All right, now I am going to show you the biggest storage space yet on this boat. Oh, but first, let me show you what these storages look like. So in here, it's not much in here. but we've got life jackets, got your battery switches here, manual bilge pump. And then at the same time on the port side, we've got another decently large space. Batteries are there. And as you crawl forward, you can get access to the fuel tank. So let's put all this back in place. And now the engine room. The engine room's on an electric actuator, much like most. This hatch is gonna open super tall for easy maintenance. I'm gonna pop it all the way up so you guys can see exactly how tall it'll go. In no world would anybody ever open it this much, but for YouTube, we do it. So this is my favorite element of the boat, and I'm gonna hop in to show you how much I love it. In today's world, companies are packing engine rooms, you know, and with good reason. They wanna make the most of a space. They wanna put as many components in here to make your life easier. Now, what happened with the 32 is I'll give you a little history. The 32 used to be a VanDutch 30, and that was launched 2013, 2014. And the VanDutch 30 was a tank, but it had diesel engines with straight shafts. So this space was completely filled with steering systems and the rudder through holes and a generator, and there was a lot of stuff in here. Now with the 32, there's nothing in here. So when you move from a big diesel engine, which was 260 horsepower, down to a Volvo D4 300 horsepower engine, much, much smaller and really much lighter too. So what you gain is all this space on these beautifully finished stringers that you can do with what you want. Like they said in Step Brothers, there's so much room for activities. So I'll give you a couple ideas after I run you through all the components. So you got your two engines, you got your steering pumps on the port and starboard side here. Your ray cores are in front of me. You've got an immediate pass through for your fuel tanks. Your fuel lines come straight from there. You've got your fire suppression system. And that's it. You have no batteries, no other electronics in here. This is strictly for your engines and the output. Now, let me give you a couple of ideas. Because with the original VanDutch 30, you've got shafts and everything in here. You had no space. This boat from the factory, this 32, was built without a generator, without air conditioning, without a gyroscope. Those are the three things that you can put on this boat. You have space for everything. Now, if you are one of those people that gets a little bit affected by the waves and you want to put a gyro in here, you can go Seakeeper 2, I think. You can put a quick air-cooled system, or if you want to get really crazy, you can think about the new Dometic DG3. Now that is the ultimate gyro at the moment because it spools like 3 times faster than a Seakeeper, which is unheard of. And to get really deep into it, Dometic and Seakeeper are both water-cooled systems. So that requires raw water to be brought up into the boat and it cools the system. If you don't want to do all that plumbing stuff, which can be an extra cost, you can stick to quick an air-cooled, fan-cooled system that goes right here in the engine room, doesn't require any plumbing whatsoever. And with a boat of this size and this weight, a lighter boat, you probably don't need those bigger raw water-cooled systems. So a quick gyro can go right here. If you wanted to add air conditioning, you could also work the compressor in here. And if you wanted to put a generator to add to that 4 hours of battery life that we spoke about, you can put it right here. It's all very, very ready for however you want to customize this boat. That is one of my favorite features of the boat. And that's completely standard from the factory. So that's nothing special on this boat. You have a ton of space in a VanDutch 32 to do what you want. Let me close this engine room hatch now. All right, engine hatch is closed. Let's move to these forward bench seats. So you've got 2 seats, wide enough for maybe 2 people, 1.5, call it. But you've got 2 forward seats which are great for passengers. Obviously your captain's gonna sit here, but the little kids can all get a great seat looking forward when you're operating. Underneath this cushion, you've got a hidden bar with some fresh water. This is drained as well. You've got a little storage compartment, good for whatever you may need to store on board. And then I do just want to show you that underneath this captain's helm seat, there is nothing because you've got this big fridge. So that's that. Then let's move to the helm. You've got your engine start stop controls in this little cutaway here with 2 cup holders and one of your 4 deck speakers. You've got a giant Garmin 16-inch screen. Now this is the XSV, so this has sonar capabilities if you're interested. With this boat, you've got your Volvo binnacle, your joystick controller, you have a bow thruster controller here, zip wake trim tab controller, compass, because you always got to know where you're heading. And then your controls, your little controls at the helm, you've got an engine room blower on, engine room blower off, your horn, nice, your engine room hatch up, and an engine room hatch down. Now there is one cool thing I wanted to show you on the vessel control here. VanDutch makes a custom lighting system that's controllable from the Garmin. So you can control all of your boat lights, from your interior lights, your bathroom lights, exterior lights, underwater, deck, helm lights, all on. And this is where you actually do that dimmable function. And then you've got your navigation lights that you can turn on along with your anchor light. So that's all controlled from the helm. Really, really cool feature. I do want to mention this windshield. So this windshield is also a really cool custom element that was completely disassembled. They took the original panels and made brand new, thicker acrylic panels, but they tinted them. So when you're off board, when you're looking at this boat from a profile, this paint and this windshield really contrasts in an awesome way. It almost comes off as black and white. But what I do want to mention is this color, completely custom paint job, by the way, this color is called cloud gray. So to the naked eye, it may seem white, but if you get close, this is actually a very, very, very light gray with the accent of a boot stripe that's called rich cream, and then a racing stripe that's a Nardo gray. So you really have this gray, peanut butter, rich cream type of tone on this boat that I think is really unique. It's definitely one of one, but can be cruised anywhere in the world. Really, really looks amazing. So one thing to note, 32-foot boat, not a lot of expectation with a cabin of this size, but it is nice if you just need to get out of the sun. And you have seating probably for 3 on both sides here. And really cool element is that you do have storage under here on all your sides. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little cabinets, should you need it. From the floor, you've got some bilge access, and here is your bathroom, which I always found this boat to be somewhat magical because when you look at it from off board, you don't expect the cabin to be this size, and you definitely don't expect a really nice finished bathroom in here. So something to think about when you are comparing boats online, especially at this size, is what kind of bathroom does it give you? And I'm not saying this is the best. This is a great bathroom, but I'm not saying it's the best. But you do want to think about, you know, when you're at that 30-foot, 25-foot, 32-foot category, what kind of interior amenities do you get? And compare it to this, because I think this is a really good option. So talking a little bit about the details, you do have lights up in the ceiling with a control panel right from the entrance of the cabin. Your finishing for the seats is exactly like it is outside. You got the bullnose edge with the honeycomb stitch pattern. These panels on the sidewall, these were refinished to a really light faux gray from the original white from the factory. Nothing was wrong with the white, but we all know white can tend to get dirty quickly. So this was changed also to bring in that gray from the outside space. So now the interior continues on with that white, light gray, and that peanut butter tone that we have outside. Technically speaking, you've got an outlet, a 110 outlet on both sides of the cabin, in addition to a USB charger. So on each side of the cabin, you've got a 110 outlet and 2 USB chargers, as well as this is where your main brain sits for the music. So this is the master controller, and outside is your additional remote controller on the in the cockpit. Let's check out the breaker panel really quick. So this is a nice element. It's just really easy to see, not behind a wall or anything, just quick access if you need it. So you've got your service load, you've got your battery voltage. These are controls for your bilge pumps, and you can have manual, auto, or off. And from left to right, you've got a breaker for outlets, your water heater, your air conditioning, which on this boat it doesn't have, but the breaker is set up if you were to add that. You've got a battery charger breaker, and that's located on the starboard side on the wall. You've got 2 open breakers if you need them. You got a breaker for your engine room hatch, your thruster controller, your toilet, and your fresh water pump. And then your for access to the helm area, all the components to the back of the joystick, the binnacle, the Garmin, all those helm components, you've got quick access, a Velcro panel right here that pulls right off, so you got quick access to that. To check out the bathroom, standard bathroom, sink, toilet, you do have some storage here on the port side, and your toilet control is right here on the starboard side underneath the sink. And you do have some towel hooks up there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and close this deck hatch to show you that we've got an opaque screen here, as well as the mosquito blind. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the cabin. All right, let's head to the bow. But first, these clips. Something very, very important comes with these clips. It's a Bimini top. And we don't have it on today because we wanted to show, well, to be honest with you, we got a beautiful day. It's like 60 degrees out. The sun is not tough at all. So we wanted to show the openness of the boat. But this boat does come with a Bimini top that's super durable. It can run full speed, no problems. And it's got a little bit of an adjustment on all of the points, so that if you wanted to bring it down, if you wanted to bring it up on the forward side, bring it down, bring it up on the back side and the aft side, you can do it, no problem. So let's jump to the bow components. So we've got a couple of cleats here, also pop up and depress just like at the back. You've got your waist pump out here on the port side. And let's get into the important zone is the anchor hatch. So the anchor, we've got it out now because we're comfortable out in Boca, but your anchor is controlled here from this remote controller that plugs right here on the starboard side, and this is opened by a gas spring. So you're always going to have a comfortable opening experience. You got your horn that comes out of this anchor hatch, and it's clean, it's functional. The anchor is stainless steel. I believe it's a Delta, and the chain is fully chain, no rope at the end. And now we get right about to the point of the video where I've remembered a couple of things that I forgot to mention, and there's one important element of the customization that I wanted to mention. On this boat, they took all the original gaskets, so the hatches, and especially the engine room hatch, they took the original off and put extra thick gasket directly to the paint on the bottom side of the hatch. And what this does is it helps create a perfect seal on the engine room hatch. And that's ultimately going to yield soundproofing. It's ultimately going to yield less rattling. It's ultimately going to yield a better operating experience for you. So now we're going to close up shop. We'll take up the anchor. We're going to head out to the ocean, see how this thing runs. So when I'm running this boat, The cool thing when compared to the old VanDutch 30, I think I mentioned this before, the old VanDutch 30 was a little bit heavier. So this 32 runs a little sportier, a little lighter, a little higher on the water. And what you get with that is a lot more steering response. In addition to, on this boat, you've got stern drives. So you've got almost direct propulsion in terms of propulsion of water pushing you forward, and also direct response from the steering wheel. So if I was a 30 owner, a VanDutch 30 owner, moving to potentially a 32, I would know, or I would want to know, that this boat's going to be sportier, it's going to be a better response, and ultimately you're going to get about 4 knots more of top speed, because this boat does about 40 knots, maybe even 41 on a good day, where the original VanDutch 30 always was 36. No matter which VanDutch you had, 30, 40, or 55, it was always 36 knots across the board. So we're gonna head out into the ocean and show what this thing can do. All right, so that was it. We took you on a full in-depth tour of this VanDutch 32, and I hope you learned not just about the custom features on R01, but more about the VanDutch 32 in general, because I think this boat has a lot to offer, and I have yet to see an in-depth tour of the VanDutch 32 online. If you have any questions, or if you want to make a comment on the video, drop it below and I'd be happy to get back to you. This is listed with me, Reed Nicol, and Prestige Marine. For more information on this, you can check it out here on our website, and to contact me, rnicol, Nicol, @prestigemarine.co.